All right, good evening, folks. I'm Chris Markle, Senior Advancement Officer and member of the class of 1984 here at Susquehanna. Welcome to Recipes from the Majuju Café in Zambia with Busi Chapula and Afi Ahama. Tonight, Busi will prepare popular food while she and Afi talk about her experience as an international student, her career transition from accounting to small business ownership, and some differences between American and Zambian food culture. Before I turn things over to them, I want to let you know that this session is being recorded, and I want to welcome several SU faculty and staff who are attending tonight's event, including Melissa Kamara, Vice President for Advancement, Jody Swartz and Logan Sweet, also from the Advancement team, and Michaeline Schumann, Assistant Provost of Postgraduate Outcomes and Civic Engagement. If you have questions tonight, please submit them in the Q&A and we'll do our best to answer them by the end of the session. Tonight's moderator is Afi Ahama, class of 2016. At Susquehanna, Afi majored in accounting and minored in French studies and was a member of Enactus and the Fashion Club. She's a business strategist for JP Morgan Chase and is a member of the alumni board. We hope you all relax, sit back and enjoy this presentation. Afi, take it away.
Thank you. And thank you to the team. I'm super excited to introduce my best friend who I met at Susquehanna and refused to share with everyone, but I'm sharing her and her recipe with you all. So super excited. A little bit about Busi. I met Busi at Susquehanna University. She was an accounting major who graduated in 2017. When she graduated from Susquehanna, she took a job as a business development associate for Kudu Consulting Limited in Zambia. Then in August of 2019, she quit her job and opened the Majuju Café. We'll learn more about that transition later. Busi, welcome. We're excited to have you.
Thank you.
We want to know, what are you cooking and how did you end up at SU?
Okay, so today we're going to be making one of the most popular meals at Majuju Café. It's called a Little Uzi burger. And even though it's called Little Uzi burger, it's not little, but it's very Uzi. Okay, so how did I end up at SU? It's a funny story. When I graduated from high school, I entered into like a mentorship program that helps international students get scholarships in different institutions around the world. And Susquehanna happened to be one of the institutions that my mentorship program worked with. And so I got a place and moved to Selinsgrove.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. So yeah. You want to tell us a little bit about the ingredients that we need for this recipe? And then I have some yummy questions for us later.
Okay, so I'm going to be making a burger. I hope everyone can see that I have a little setup here in front of me. I have my toasted burger bun. I have my burger patty here. I have some bacon here, some cheese, caramelized onions. So that's for the burger. And then I'm also going to be making fries, French fries. So I have some parboiled potatoes. They're already cut and parboiled, so I just have to drop them into the grease. And then I also will be making a cucumber and orange salad to go with the burger and fries. Yeah.
Nice, sounds yummy. So as you get started, let's start with some questions. What would you say are some of the cultural differences between Zambia and the United States?
Okay, so can I just go ahead and do my thing?
Yeah, we're cooking.
Okay, so some of the cultural differences I would say are Americans are very friendly in a sense that you could meet an American, well, you could meet someone in a social situation in America. Oh, sorry, it's about to get loud.
All good, all good.
no.
Some time there.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so you can meet an American in a social situation and there'll always be something to talk about, like, small talk, like, oh, how's the weather? Oh, it's snowing today, that kind of thing. In Zambia, I feel like people are not really like that. Yeah, people tend to mind their business a little bit.
So like
Or
New Yorkers.
yeah, kind of like New Yorkers, but I feel like not as mean. Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah, no offense. No offense.
So I'm curious, when it comes to the food, what would you say are like the major differences? Or if there are any differences at all?
So one thing I would say is not a lot of Zambians are into eating out. Well, I would say as compared to Americans, because most people make their meals at home. Not only because it's like cost effective, but also because I think it's just not the culture to eat out like, every other day or every day. Whereas in America, like I remember, even when I'm talking to you, Afi, most of the time you eat out. Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So now Zambia, right? It's about what? 7,569 miles away.
Mhm.
What are some of the highlights from Susquehanna University that are in your mind right now? And that probably, I don't know, makes you want to come back. What are some of your SU highlights?
You know what I miss about SU most is the people. I met some amazing people at SU and I learned a lot. I actually went to SU when I was 17 years old, fun fact. So I feel like I kind of grew up there because I entered into my adulthood years at SU. And so the bonds that I created with the people at SU, I feel like have kind of shaped the way I think now, the way I learn now, and the way I interact now. So the biggest reason why I would come back to SU is for the people.
Other people. Nice.
Yeah.
So right now you're checking up on the fries, right? How long is
Yes.
it to be on there? What should we do at this step?
Because they're already parboiled, I don't have to leave them very long inside the grease. They should be ready in the next 2 to 3 minutes. They're already looking a bit crispy. I'll give you guys a peek when I'm done. And then when I'm done with the fries, I'll move on to the burger patty and the bacon. Yeah.
Great. So now as we're talking about food, the main questions we've received, and I'm seeing on 2 different screens here, is why the food industry? Why a cafe? I know a story about I know the behind the story, but you tell them. Why a cafe? Why the food industry? And being an accounting major, 2 different industries. How did you end up in the kitchen?
Definitely. So why food? Ever since I was a little girl, I've always been interested in food, whether it's cooking food, serving food, hosting people, baking, making drinks. I've always been interested in food. After I graduated at SU, I moved back to Zambia about 2 weeks later, and in about, I think it was a month that I stayed at home, I had a job. And immediately I started my job, I realized maybe I might not be able to live on my stipend as an intern, which I was at the time. And so I decided to start a side hustle where I would bake things from home, and then I would take them to the office and sell. And so I started to gain clientele and I started to learn new recipes. I would try and teach myself a new recipe every week. And then, just like that, I would build my, I guess, portfolio. And then I also started a cocktail business. So I would do cocktails for events, cocktails or mocktails, depending on the type of event that it was. And eventually my parents saw that I was quite passionate about this. And so they decided to invest in my idea.
Wow.
Yeah. otherwise it was in my 5-year plan after I graduated to open up a restaurant, but I didn't know how fast it would come.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just about to take out the fries.
Okay. Sounds good. And while you're doing that, I'll tell everyone a story. It's so beautiful to sit here and moderate this conversation as she's cooking a meal from her recipe, because I remember back at SU, either at Dake or the library, late at night, and we were studying for accounting, and Wisty was like, listen, if it was just me, I would go to France or Paris and study cuisine to become a chef. And we would just talk about the different type of restaurants. So just looking at it and see how she made it happen. Actually, we spoke about it. She finished. All right, that's the fries. Sorry, I was in my conversation.
No worries.
Cool. That's looking yummy. So yeah, it's great to see it come to life. And it's so great to have the connections, the lessons learned at SU. And just like you said, like thinking about the different business ideas, you still were able to bring accounting and your goals together. So that's beautiful to see. We have some attendees from Zambia here. A question from Busi Chapula. I think you partially answered this question, but I'll ask it for the benefit of the group. How did you know what type of business you wanted to start, and what advice would you give someone who wants to do the same course as you or take the same course as you?
Okay, so how did I land on doing this type of business? I will say, apart from what I said earlier, I worked at the food service department at Airmark at SU for, I think it was about 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I was the finance intern for 3 years. So that kind of also inspired me in terms of how to manage a restaurant, how to manage a food business. I was actually around when Starbucks first came, and they were doing all the trainings and all that kind of stuff. I was kind of part of that. So I felt like I kind of had an experience of like opening a new place, hiring people. Although I wasn't directly involved, I kind of knew the process.
The operation.
Yeah. So I feel like that also inspired me in a way to open up a food business. And then your other question was,
how did you know what type of business you wanted to go into?
Oh, okay. Like I said, it's always been a passion for me. Yeah. So that's the reason why I went into this business, and also because of my, I guess, management experience as a finance intern. And then you asked about how did I know the course that I wanted to do? Yeah, I feel like we never discussed this before, Afi, but we both did accounting. For me, the reason why I went into accounting is because I've always been a number cruncher. I'm the type of person to keep everything on my Excel spreadsheets. So I've always been fascinated about that. It wasn't my initial major that I actually wanted to go into. When I got to SU, I was actually signed up for, I think it was biomed or something like that. Yeah, I wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
And then I switched courses to accounting because I felt like that aligned more with what I want to do with my life. And I'm actually grateful that I did go with accounting, because what I did in accounting kind of set me up for what I'm doing now. Yeah. So I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just put the burger patty on the pan and it's going, and I'm about to put the bacon strips on the pan as well.
Okay, cool. So how long do we keep it on there, or?
So I think it's been going for like 3 minutes.
Okay.
I'm just about to flip it as well. I wish I could show you. I wish I had a camera that could show you, but yeah.
Next time. Cool. So while you're turning that over, I'll ask the next question. How did you how did you overcome the nerves of starting something completely new, your very own business? That's amazing. Yeah, it is amazing.
Thank you. To be honest with you, when I started the business, I don't think I completely knew what I was doing in terms of like completely understanding the magnitude of what I was doing. Because like I said, it was a passion. So I was excited. I didn't really think about, oh, what if it fails? You know, I was just excited to start something that I actually want to do. So looking back now, I can see that it was very brave, especially leaving my job without any guarantee of whether this thing is going to work or not. But definitely, I can say the passion has driven me all the way through. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I see that because there are times where I call with the because of the time difference, and I'm an early riser. So when I'm up, she's like, I need to go meet the accountant. I need to go do this. I need to go get the eggs. Sometimes she's the one delivering the eggs to her client. And I'm always making fun of her, like, are you going to the chicken scoop today or what?
Yeah.
So that's always
Yeah.
it's fun to see the highs and the lows and seeing how
Yeah.
we overcome that. And as friends, we share ideas like, what do you think? How should we go? And like, how do you manage people there? It's two different cultures. So managing people back home to going to school here and learning something totally different, knowing how to apply it back home. That's just, I think we need to go study to Zambia so you can give us a a breakdown.
And Afi and Wuzi, maybe if I can throw in a question while you're working there, Wuzi. Afi and Wuzi, we have our Thanksgiving dinner the next few nights at Susquehanna, 40-year tradition here, and it's really one of the great traditions at Susquehanna. Do you remember your Thanksgiving dinners, and can you mention maybe one of the highlights of one of the dinners here?
I mean, one thing I know is when Busi is planning to go to those dinners and she doesn't tell me where she's going with or whether we're going together, we're not talking for a week.
That's true.
But those are great times with friends, faculty, moments like that. I guess you can't relive them. You can take them back. It's just one of those moments when you're there sitting down, you take it in, you appreciate it. Because after you graduate, what other opportunities you have to sit down with the faculty and your peers, right? So take advantage of those. I wish I could come back and relive those moments with my but maybe one day we could do an alumni version.
I like that. We'll take some pictures for you.
All right, send them.
For me, I really enjoyed the Thanksgiving dinners. I really liked the stuffing, and I think I also remember the gravy on the turkey. Those are my three favorite things at Thanksgiving dinner, and also just being around my friends. Oh, and also pumpkin pie.
Oh man,
I think it was the pumpkin pie was really good.
I'm with you on that.
It was a good time.
Thank you.
Oh, so are you the one in charge of the pie?
I'll be delivering some tomorrow night.
All right, ship me some. All right, so with the next question here, how has your educational experience at SU impacted your career journey? We touched upon it, but if you want to go more into it, definitely. And what is one of your favorite SU memories?
So I didn't hear the first part. Can you just repeat that?
How has your educational experience at SU impacted your career journey?
Okay. So one thing I really liked about SU is the fact that SU is a liberal arts college. So for most of my friends, they studied in international universities in, say, the UK or China or Malaysia. And one thing I can say that was different with my experience and their experience is their courses were kind of focused on what they were studying and not anything else. Whereas for me, I got to learn a lot about accounting, yes, but then I also got to learn a lot about astrology jazz, I studied French. So I kind of have like I had a well-rounded experience. I was exposed to a lot of different things. And so I remember, I think it was in my philosophy class, someone had asked, like, why do we even have to learn philosophy? Like, I'm a business major, why do I have to learn philosophy? And I think the professor was like, it's mostly so that you are able to network with people. You need to be able to talk about different things. You can't just talk about business. If you want to connect with people, you have to be able to talk about philosophy. So when I thought about it, I'm like, that's actually really smart. And that would definitely put me like ahead of like my peers who went to other schools. So that's one thing I really liked about SU. Yeah.
Nice. Yes, definitely
Mhm.
that liberal arts aspect, being
Mhm.
able to connect
Yeah.
things. Yeah, definitely. That's one thing I would say too. Liberal arts,
Yeah.
that liberal arts aspect of it. All right. I do have a question, bro. That's not on the list. Now that we're talking about this,
Mhm.
knowing what you know now, would you have maybe started something with food while you were on campus? Do you think that we'll have the resources and done it then?
Yeah. I think that's a great question. And I definitely would have. I was actually challenged when I was in, I think it was junior year. When I was in junior year, I feel like that's when I started thinking a lot about food and like, starting my own food business. And I talked to a friend of mine and she told me, why can't you start making cupcakes at school and selling them? And to be honest with you, the only thing that stopped me was confidence. I wasn't really confident in myself. Um, yeah, so knowing what I know now, definitely I would try because then I would have free guinea pigs. I had so many friends on campus that would have wanted to try my products,
Right.
So yeah, definitely.
Nice. And what is something you wish you knew earlier about running a cafe?
That's a good question. One thing I wish I knew earlier about running a cafe is the fact that it's very, what can I say? Labor intensive in terms of not only is it labor intensive, I'm basically like a machine. I have to know the recipes. I have to work well with my staff. I have to be able to please the clients. I have to be able to do quality control. I have to be able to file everything that I need to, keep my records, everything. So it's a lot of work.
Right.
So obviously that's not what I was thinking about when I was just passionate. But now that I'm in it, it's quite a lot of work. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep. All right.
Yeah.
So tell us.
Can I just, sorry to cut you off,
Yeah, of course.
but I've done a lot behind the scenes. So yeah, so I'm done with my bacon. And I also finished up my burger patty on the stove and I put some cheese slices on top of it. And I'm just going to start setting up the burger right here. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So I'm putting my sauces and putting everything together.
Cool.
So you can go ahead.
All right. So some questions about the food, right? How do you like, I'm actually surprised that you're doing burgers, right? Because it's Africa. I'm also, for the audience, I'm also from Africa. I'm from the West Side. I'm from Togo, West Africa. So I was actually a little bit surprised to see that you chose burger. So I'm curious, like, do people eat burgers? Like, is that the go-to or is it the traditional African food?
So funny enough, burgers are not traditional African food at all. But through being in this business, I found out that Zambians really like burgers. So on our first menu, we didn't have burgers on the menu. We had like steak, we had salads, we had, nice cafe style meals. And eventually, through client feedback, we realized that a lot of people actually enjoy burgers. So I'm just putting my caramelized onions on the burger. I hope you can see.
We
No,
can't really see it, but I also don't want you to
okay.
miss the camera.
Yeah,
angle.
no, I'll show you guys at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, people were requesting for burgers. So eventually we decided to make a burger that we could serve at the restaurant, and the first burger was actually the Little Uzi burger, which is the one I'm preparing today. So people get to see, everything that went into the first recipe, the first burger recipe that we had at our cafe.
Nice. And do you get the ingredients like locally, or do you have a farm that you get them from, or how do you go about like actually the ingredients?
Yeah, so one thing that I'm very particular about in terms of like serving food is serving fresh food. So we don't have a specific farmer that we get our produce from, but we go to the market every week so that we can get the freshest ingredients. Everything from lettuce to herbs to different kinds of vegetables. We try our best to get things at least every week so things can stay fresh. Yeah. But I think you mentioned earlier, I'm also a farmer, and we have eggs. We have chickens that lay eggs at our farm. And right now we don't have any. They're just about to start laying. But in the beginning, when we first started Majuju, we would get our eggs from the farm. So we would buy eggs from the farm and then use them at the cafe. So farm to table type of thing, Yeah.
Awesome. So, all right. So we're still putting the burger together.
Yeah.
That's tomato on.
Yeah, caramelized onions, lettuce, tomato.
Nice.
And then the burger and cheese, or the patty and cheese.
I haven't had dinner yet, so I don't know. that ticket, that flight ticket is looking.
I wish I could ship it to you.
It's going to be the most expensive burger.
Yeah, so the bacon's on there, and then my bun. So I have some mayonnaise and some barbecue sauce. I'm just going to press that on my bun. Yeah. So I know you can't see it, but it looks beautiful, if I do say so myself. Yeah, maybe I can just lift it up and show you. So that's the burger.
Ooh. So like how much would that be? Like I feel like in New York looking at it, $15.
What? I think I need to, I feel like I need to move now. Now that you say it's 18.
Taxes, maybe fountain soda, but I don't know. What how much are we spending in Zambia for this?
So I would say this is about $6.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a bargain.
It definitely, even here, I feel like it's a bargain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. We know where we're moving to now.
No, I'm trying to move to you.
Bring Majuju Café.
Exactly.
I also would say this is the next Starbucks of
yeah, she always says that.
So be on the watch. Save your money for some stuff.
Exactly.
Alrighty. So that's the Little Uzi burgers.
Yeah.
What's next on the list?
So I'm going to prepare a salad that's it's a side at our restaurant that people get with either a wrap or I forget the other thing. Chicken schnitzel. Yes. So people seem to really like it because it's quite fresh. And it's very
Is it just me or I think we lost Busi?
Uzi may be frozen there, and we'll try to reach out to her and see if we can get her back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do that. And what do you think? That looked pretty good, Afi. I have to agree with you.
I know,
I-
that looks so good. And it's only $6?
I haven't had dinner yet either, but no, I think hearing about all that Woozy's done. Did you think when you knew each other that she might have the ability to start a restaurant, or did you see that entrepreneurship in her?
I did. I think I saw the passion more than the entrepreneurship. That was a little bit of a shock for me to see her, like a beautiful shock for me to see that. But she always, like I mentioned, like she always spoke about it. That's all I used to hear about. And whenever she would make her fried rice, she's like, "This is going to be on the menu too, Afi." So yes, it's
Oh,
I'm so proud.
we
I'm
see
back.
Woozy. You're back.
yes.
Yes.
Just a minute. Okay. So can I just go ahead?
Yeah, we're ready for you. So this is the salad.
So this is the salad. So I have some chopped English cucumber. I cut them lengthwise. I'm sure you can see. I'm sorry, I touch my food with my hands, so.
Yeah, you're the only one eating it. It's very good.
No worries.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just set that up.
Is that like a whole cucumber or?
No, so I'll show you the rest of it.
Okay.
So I only use just like the top bit. Yeah.
Got it.
And then I'll put my orange slices. So I already like peeled and cut them into like tiny pieces.
Right.
I really like the salad because it's fresh. Most people get it as a side because they know it's going to taste like really fresh, I guess. Fresh is the word.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're doing this at 2:33 in the morning, Woozy.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Anything for SU.
Anything for SU.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any
So now
particular
I have-
type of oranges that you use? Any special orange?
No, you know what I realized being in the US, another thing is there's so many different types of everything. So I don't think we have that many varieties here. I feel like these are imported oranges. So I would only be able to say they're imported oranges. Yeah. I think that's the best I can for that.
We do
So I
have
put some onion slices and some fresh garlic, and I'm putting some black pepper.
Nice.
I have some fresh coriander behind me. I think in America it's cilantro. So I'm just going to tear it up and put it all over the plate. And lastly, some lemon juice.
Nice.
And actually I could add some orange juice as well.
Great.
yeah,
Awesome.
voila.
Wow, that was easy.
Yeah, it is easy and it's very tasty, very flavorful. I actually forgot something. Feta cheese. I
Ooh,
could grab some right now and put some, but feta cheese, it just adds a little bit of, flavor, creamy, salty. Yeah. So
nice.
that's the cucumber and orange salad.
Right. A really interesting question just popped up, and I think this is fun. Ooh,
Oh, I
wow,
was just showing food.
that's amazing. And that's probably like $10, right?
Right, right.
Looks delicious.
Right.
Thank you.
So the salad that you just made, right? All the ingredients that you just put on the table, can you tell us in your language how you pronounce each of the ingredients? This was not from me.
Are
Don't think
you
it's
putting me on the spot? I don't even know how to say. Oh my goodness.
It's okay.
Some of these things. Okay, I'll say a few things. For sure, like onions, I don't know if this is the actual word, but my parents call it kanyenze.
Kanyendi.
Kanyenze. I don't know if it's the actual word or if it's just like
Yeah.
what do you call it? Like vernacular. I don't know. Yeah,
Mhm.
so kanyenze. And then I feel like I would need help on this one. I'm trying to think. Beef. I don't know the word for beef.
Beef would be hard
Tomato.
because even for me, I don't think what beef would
Yeah, yes, beef
language.
would be
What? Yeah.
yeah, beef would be nyama.
Nyama.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Bread. Help me out. My sister is here. She's helping me out.
Phone a friend.
My dad calls potatoes batats. Potatoes are batats.
Batats. Okay, nice.
So I don't even think they have like words in the language. I think they're just like kind of modified to our, I guess, our dialect. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So we have a nice meal on the table. If you were back at EdState right now, what professors or staff members, who would you be sharing this meal with?
Oh, you know what? The first person who comes to mind is Michaeline because she's actually watching right now. Yeah, Michaeline. I worked with Michaeline for about a year, I think, at the Career Development Center. And then Miss Dr. Harberger. Is he still at SU?
He just retired.
Retired.
Yeah, he retired. Yeah, he was my advisor. So definitely I would want to share this with him.
Yeah.
And then who else? Dr. Stacy.
Yes.
Yeah, I was really close to Dr. Stacy actually. Yeah.
Nice. So, since we're talking about international dishes, obviously Susquehanna is big on study abroad, the Go program. And I do have a question here for you. So the Go program, there's a requirement, the Go requirement or Go program as we know it, provides students with cross-cultural, I can't talk right now, cultural experiences through which they build a complex understanding of their own culture and the culture in which they were immersed during Go. What are some of the cultural similarities between Zambia and the United States?
Cultural similarities. That's a good question. I would say because it's Thanksgiving time, I would say definitely Americans seem to be big on family. and Zambians are also definitely big on family. I feel like it's hard to explain, but the way that Zambians are big on family is more like family will get together for things like weddings, like the birth of a child, those kinds of big monumental events in someone's life. And I feel like Americans are also the same way. So I would say that that's a cultural similarity between America and Zambia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's now that I'm thinking about it, it's so interesting how we're big on family, but we don't have a Thanksgiving, like a holiday for
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's not exactly the same.
Yeah.
But yeah.
almost like the meals we have, the gatherings,
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, it's
Yeah.
having that one day. But then
Exactly.
what did you do? I know what you did, but what did you do when you stayed here on campus during Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Did you feel
Yeah.
alone? What was that experience like?
Yeah, so most of the time when I would stay at SU during Thanksgiving, I would be invited to someone's Thanksgiving dinner. Like I remember in 2016, which was in my final year, I went to Dr. Stacy's house, and her husband, may his soul rest in peace, he made the best pecan like cake. I don't know what type of cake that was, but I remember till this day that cake was amazing. And I actually asked him for the recipe and he wouldn't give it to me. But yeah, that was the best cake.
That would be the next thing on Majuju Café.
Because if I have the recipe.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. So what's next for Majuju Café?
I was talking to Chris about this earlier, and I feel like you guys need to stay tuned on our social media. But definitely we want to expand. Expansion could look like two different ways. So we definitely want to open another branch. And then we also want to start to package some of the things that people really like about Majuju Café. So one thing that we've thought about is our burger patties, because people really like our burgers. So yeah, stay tuned.
Guys, this is crazy. Like, this is my best friend saying we're thinking of expansion.
We're waiting for delivery to Sealands Grove.
Right.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
All right, this was great. Busi, is there anything
Yeah.
to share with us? We miss you. Come visit.
Yeah.
We're waiting for all you have to bring to the table.
Yeah, no, definitely. I miss you guys too. And definitely the next time I'm in the US, I'm definitely going to go to SU. Yeah.
Nice. And
Yeah, we had a question about, if I could throw in a question that we had about your logo and your Instagram page, Woozy. The photography on that is fantastic. How are you marketing? Are you doing that? Who's putting that together for you?
Yeah, so I would say it's a joint effort between me, my sister as well, and we also have a social media manager. But definitely the vision carriers are me and my sister. So I'm big on presentation and how food should look, and for sure, if food looks good, it has to be, shown to the world. So yeah.
Excellent. And someone just asked what your favorite daily task at the restaurant is.
Favorite daily task. I wouldn't say this is a task, but I think my favorite part of my job is interacting with people, like clients. A lot of people tend to trust us. I'm sure people who are in the service industry can kind of relate. People tend to be very open with us who are kind of in the service industry. People are willing to share what's going on in their day, the kind of things that they do, share intimate details about their lives. And I feel like it's a pleasure to get to know people, and even on a deeper level. Yeah, I think that's my favorite part of my job.
As the founder CEO, what is your day? What's a day in a life like for Busi?
Depends on the day. No, a day in the life. So I go and open the shop at 7:30. First things first, I'm looking at my emails, and then probably trying to work out what's missing. Do we not have enough milk for the day? Do we not have enough mince for our burgers today? That kind of thing. Try and get like a budget going, and usually I'll order things and have them delivered, or go out myself and buy them myself. I usually have meetings as well at the cafe, so I have to kind of schedule my day according to my meeting times. And then also I try to work on also the long-term goals, little by little every day. Might be drafting up some type of strategy, or just like doing some research. So yeah, it really depends on the day, but yeah, not very structured, but I try my best, yeah.
And your favorite thing about Majuju Café?
It's my baby. Okay. Yeah, just creating a brand, I think, is my favorite thing. Like trying my best to create a brand that people will recognize. Like, okay, when I go to Majuju Café, I know I'm going to have good food and good service. Yeah.
And Busi, you're in one of the fastest growing cities in Africa. If someone doesn't know much about Lusaka, what would you tell them about your city?
Yeah, our city is not very big, but very interesting. One thing I will say that people tend to observe when they come to Lusaka is Lusaka has multiple different hubs. Most cities have like one main business hub that you go to if you want to go shopping, if you want to go to the best restaurants. But Lusaka is kind of, I would say, spotted. So you have to really, when you come to Lusaka, you have to really take time to explore the different areas, so you can kind of have a good idea of the different kind of things Lusaka has to offer. And also, if anyone is ever planning to come to Lusaka, I'm a good tour guide. So please hit me up. Yeah.
Go Lusaka. I think that's a future program.
Promising. I like that. So do we have any more questions in the back that I can see?
There is one about when you're sourcing ingredients for the cafe. Do you consider any particular factors, sustainability, location, or others?
Definitely. And it depends on the ingredient as well, because things like fruit and veg, I will say it's hard to find like a farm or a supplier who can be very consistent, because fruit and veg expires very quickly and then also is seasonal. So I've kind of struggled with finding like one fruit and veg supplier, but things that are like sauces, cleaning materials, stationery, I have a good and consistent supplier base for that. Yeah.
Nice. I see a question here. It says, are there any new dishes you are particularly interested in bringing onto the menu?
Yes, there's actually some dishes that we tried when we first opened the store that I feel like at that time, when we were still kind of trying to build our brand and get people to come into the cafe, would not have worked. But now that we're an established brand, we can definitely kind of throw it in even as a special and see what people think about it. So yeah, we definitely have some new dishes.
Nice. And
Mhm.
when sourcing ingredients for your cafe, do you consider any particular factors like sustainability, location,
Mhm.
things like that?
Mhm. I think I already answered that question, but yeah, location is a big thing as well, because they have to have the ability to either deliver to us or for me to be able to go and collect. And that all depends on the location.
Nice.
Yeah.
And being a young entrepreneur, what motivates you and pushes you to keep going, regardless of the challenges that you face?
Yeah. Um, it's honestly a lot of pressure being a young entrepreneur, because not only am I trying to build a brand, I'm also trying to build my career and build myself. So I think that's the biggest motivating factor. Like, in 5 years, if I'm still doing what I'm doing, will I be able to, because I still live at home, will I be able to have my own place? Will I be able to support a family? So those are the things that motivate me to keep going and keep pushing and keep reaching for more. Yeah.
Some
Would
alums
you
are
go
asking
back
if they
for
would like to know more about you and would like to get more information. Where could they find information about you, Woozy, and the cafe?
Mhm. So if you'd like to reach out to me, I'm on LinkedIn. You can definitely send me a direct message on LinkedIn. My name is Busi Chapula on LinkedIn. I'm sure my details will be shared. And then also for the cafe, we're on Facebook and we're also on Instagram. We're also on LinkedIn, but we don't post as consistently there for the cafe. But on Facebook, on Instagram and Twitter, you will definitely be able to find our profiles there. Yeah.
Would you have any final words for the audience tonight, Woozy or Afi?
Yes. I would like to say, being an entrepreneur in Africa, I feel, is quite different than being an entrepreneur in the US. There's a lot more challenges in terms of like the economy instability and political instability as well. But if anyone watching right now is considering becoming an entrepreneur, I wouldn't um, uh, discourage you from doing that, especially in the US. I feel like in the US, it's so much easier to build a good network that can help you grow. So, yeah, that's my little advice for the day.
Thank you.
My last word is I'm so proud, and I'll keep saying it. I'm just proud to call you my best friend, and you motivate me every day. And I can't wait to see the next locations. I can't wait to be able to order it and have it delivered to me, even if though it might take a week. But it's packaged, so that's why it's packaged.
Yeah.
Yes. And thank you, Chris. Thank you, Susan, for putting this together. And thank you to SU in general
Yeah.
for I guess making us who we are, giving us the knowledge, the network, and the
Mhm.
platform to ask the questions that led us to where we are today, and for connecting me to Wusi. Because back when I was on campus, she was the only other African or someone else from Africa that I could relate to. So without Wusi, I probably would have left SU, because she was the connection. She was my rock. So thank you to SU. Thank you, Wusi. And I hope you guys learn as much as I did and do every day.
Yeah. Thank you as well. And thank you, Afi.
No, that's great. Thank you both. You both inspire us and are great members of the Susquehanna family. We stay together and the alumni community is really one. And You're inspiring us for the future. And I can't wait, Woozy, to see where you go and what's next. I don't know
Thank
if you
you,
remember the
Chris.
Christmas candlelight service. That's coming up in just a few weeks, December
Yeah.
6th here at Susquehanna. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do. I went every year.
One of our
I was
signature
very
events as
involved.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good memories.
Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. And upcoming campus events do include our Thanksgiving dinner, and that'll be
Mhm.
tomorrow and Thursday, 40 years of tradition at the Thanksgiving dinner. So really a special event. And then our Christmas candlelight service will be Tuesday, December 6th at 7:30. And also we have then Breakthrough, the networking conference for alumni and students. That'll be in February, from February 6th through the 11th. And for more information on all things Susquehanna, certainly go to www.sualum.com. And we always have new information on the website. Check out the news items. There's always great press releases. You can hear about the Riverhawks football team, undefeated in the playoffs this Saturday, hosting Utica at 12 o'clock. We could go far. So a big day Saturday for the Riverhawks, and a lot of great things happening at Susquehanna right now. We are blessed, Woozy and Afi, to hear you both tonight and to really experience a lot about the cafe. And thank you all for being here. We hope everybody will have a great Thanksgiving and be safe tonight. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
You too.